Okay, we can start letting people into the meeting. Welcome everyone. If you've just joined, we're gonna give it a couple more minutes. It's 5:31 now. We'll wait for a few more people to join. Okay, well, aloha everyone. Mahalo for joining. I think we'll go ahead and get started. My name is David Sakota, and I'm the Fisheries Program Manager for the state of Hawaii, Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Aquatic Resources. I will be conducting tonight's public hearing along with the DAR staff at our in-person host sites. It is now 5:33 p.m. and this public hearing is called to order. This is a formal public hearing on the proposed adoption of a new chapter, Hawaii Administrative Rules, or HAR Chapter 13-78, entitled Ocean Stewardship User Fee. The primary purpose of this new chapter is to establish rules implementing the Ocean Stewardship User Fee that was established by the Hawaii State Legislature in 2021 through Act 46 and codified in Section 187A-52 Hawaii Revised Statutes. As required by law, the proposed rules have been drafted in Ramsar format, copies of which can be found in the announcements section of the DAR website. Those attending the meeting in person may ask DAR staff for a copy. The purpose of this hearing is to provide the public the opportunity to provide comments in the form of oral and written testimony on these proposed amendments. Approvals to conduct this public hearing were obtained from the Board of Land and Natural Resources at their board meeting on June 9th, 2023. The legal notice of this public hearing was published in the June 24th, 2023 Saturday issues of the Garden Island and West Hawaii Today newspapers, and in the June 25th, 2023 Sunday issues of the Honolulu Star Advertiser and Hawaii Tribune Herald. Additionally, notice of this public hearing was posted on the draft rules and public notices page of the DAR website, where digital copies of the draft rules in Ramsar format can be found, as well as posted on the announcements page of the DAR website. First, we will watch a short video explaining the proposed changes to the administrative rules. We will then begin the public testimony period, which will be conducted as follows. Everyone testifying via Zoom was required to pre-register in order to get the link to testify. We will keep the registration open through the public hearing and will monitor our email in case anyone has trouble registering or joining the Zoom meeting to provide their testimony. However, if you are unable to join via Zoom, you may still provide oral testimony at one of the in-person hearing locations listed in this slide, or you may submit written testimony by following the directions at the bottom of the slide. Everyone testifying in person at one of the host sites should have written their information down on the sign-in sheet provided at the host site. Those attending in person who have not registered but would like to provide testimony can alert the DAR public hearing officer at your in-person site at this time, and your name will be added to the list. It is important that everyone who wishes to testify provide their name and contact information so we have an accurate record of everyone providing testimony. You will be called upon by a member of the DAR staff when it is your turn to testify. We ask that all individuals attending virtually keep their microphones muted when not speaking, and we will take testimony in the following order. First, we'll take in-person testimony from people who have been signed up to testify beginning in Lanai, then Molokai, then Maui, and once all in-person testimony is gathered, we will take Zoom testimony. Please keep your testimony brief and on the subject to allow everyone the opportunity to testify. Each person providing testimony will be given 3 minutes. Please be aware that if you go beyond 3 minutes, I will kindly ask you to conclude your testimony. We are recording this hearing to make a written record, so please state your full name before giving your testimony. Make sure to speak clearly so we accurately record your testimony for the record. Please turn off the live YouTube stream of this hearing while testifying, as it will cause an echo. Please remember to respect the opinions of all testifiers and that this hearing is not an opportunity for accusation or rebuttals. There may be differing opinions. Everyone will have an opportunity to voice their opinion for the department to consider. All testimony should be directed to me and not to the audience. Please note that this hearing is simultaneously being streamed on YouTube. The live stream will be recorded and preserved on YouTube as a matter of public record. Please be aware that by offering your oral testimony today, you are consenting to being audio and video recorded if your camera is on. Let's begin with a short video on the background explaining the proposed administrative rules.
Hi, David. Sorry, I don't think there's sound coming out right now.
Sorry, can anyone else confirm there's no sound?
Yeah, no sound. You might have to stop sharing, and when you reshare,
Okay.
there's a checkbox on the bottom left corner, I believe, and it'll say click that to share the sound.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Let me go back. One moment. Sorry for this. Okay, here we go.
Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 13-78, Ocean Stewardship User Fee, Background and Legal Authority. In 2021, the Hawaii State Legislature introduced House Bill 1019 as part of DLNR's administrative bill package. In the bill, the legislature recognized the ecological, economic, and cultural value of Hawaii's ocean waters and marine resources to the state. It also noted that the increasing popularity of marine ecotourism requires greater measures to ensure the continued health of marine ecosystems, and that DLNR may need a more consistent and reliable funding source to manage, protect, and restore marine resources throughout the state. To address this need, House Bill 1019 proposed to establish an Ocean Stewardship Special Fund and to authorize DLNR to adopt rules pursuant to the Chapter 91 rulemaking process to establish non-resident user fees for the use and enjoyment of the state's ocean resources. On June 8, 2021, then Governor David Ige signed the measure into law as Act 46, which was later codified into the Hawaii Revised Statutes under HRS Section 187A-51, Ocean Stewardship Special Fund, and 187A-52, Ocean Stewardship User Fee. The new law requires all commercial use permit holders to collect an ocean stewardship user fee from each passenger carried or customer served beginning on January 1, 2024, provided that the fee shall be $1 per passenger or customer, deposited into the Ocean Stewardship Special Fund established pursuant to HRS Section 187A-51, and requires the Department to adopt rules to implement the new fee requirement. The Department has received questions regarding how the monies collected will be used. HRS Section 187A-51, subsection C, establishes the authorized uses for the Ocean Stewardship Special Fund. The statute allows the monies deposited into the Ocean Stewardship Special Fund to be used to develop and carry out marine resource conservation, restoration, enhancement, research, regulatory measures, enforcement actions, educational activities, or any other management measure intended to conserve, restore, and enhance state marine resources, develop and carry out restoration and compensatory mitigation measures for impacts to the marine environment, including impacts to the marine environment from federal or state permitted actions or aquatic resource violations, and install, maintain, and replace day-use mooring buoys and other infrastructure to reduce impacts to the marine ecosystem. Subsequently, based on feedback during public scoping, DAR plans to use Ocean Stewardship user fee revenues for a number of projects and programs, including but not limited to habitat restoration, including coral reefs and estuaries, invasive species prevention and removal, water quality research and monitoring, marine debris removal, enhanced monitoring of marine habitat and resources, establishing a statewide program to install, inspect, maintain, and replace day-use mooring buoys, and development of materials and trainings to educate visitors on the cultural, historical, and ecological importance of the various marine resources they interact with, as well as best practices to minimize their impacts. Now that we have provided some background on the Ocean Stewardship User Fee and Ocean Stewardship Special Fund, we will review the draft rules that are the basis of this public hearing. Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 13-78, entitled Ocean Stewardship User Fee. Section 1 is the definitions section and includes the pertinent definitions for the chapter. The following definitions are included within this section. Commercial operator means a person that is required to have a commercial operator permit or commercial use permit pursuant to Section 13-256-3 Hawaii Administrative Rules. Commercial operator permit means a permit described in Section 13-256-3 Hawaii Administrative Rules, now known as commercial use permit. Commercial vessel means a vessel engaged in any trade, business, or commercial activity, including but not limited to carrying passengers for hire, charter fishing, bareboat, or any type of charter maintenance, harvesting coral or similar resources, construction, towing, towboating, or other trade or business wherein the vessel is used in any manner to promote the venture or is registered with the state or documented by the United States Coast Guard for commercial use. Customer means an individual using the services of a commercial use permit holder. Department means the Department of Lands and Natural Resources. Passenger means an individual on board a vessel other than the master, member of the crew, or other persons employed in the business of the vessel. Person means an individual, partnership, firm, company, corporation, association, or other entity. State means the state of Hawaii. Vessel means all description of watercraft used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on or in the water, except a seaplane. Section 2, subsections A through C essentially restate the relevant ocean stewardship user fee requirements set forth in HRS Section 187A-52. It states that all operators of commercial vessels, watercraft, or water sports equipment that are required to have a commercial operator permit or commercial use permit pursuant to Section 13-256-3 shall collect an ocean stewardship user fee from each passenger carried or customer served. The ocean stewardship user fee shall be $1 per passenger or customer. Fees collected pursuant to this section shall not be counted towards gross revenues for purposes of Section 200-10, subsection C5, Hawaii Revised Statutes. And all fees collected pursuant to this section shall be transferred to the Department on or before the last day of the month following the month in which the fees were collected. Subsection 2E establishes a monthly reporting requirement for commercial operators to report the total number of passengers carried or customers served during the month covered by the report. This information is necessary to calculate the amount of collected user fees that must be transferred to the department. The report will also collect information about the general location of the operator's commercial activity, as well as the nature or type of commercial activity. This information can assist DLNR in deciding how user fee revenues should be allocated. Subsection 2F requires commercial operators to maintain records of the daily number of passengers carried or customers served for at least 24 months and to make them available for inspection by DLNR upon request. This provides a mechanism for DLNR to conduct audits to ensure compliance with user fee requirements. Section 3 describes the statutorily authorized penalties that will apply for violations of this chapter. It states that any person violating any provision of this chapter shall be subject to administrative penalties as provided by Section 187A-12.5 Hawaii Revised Statutes, revocation of a commercial use permit as provided by Section 13-256-10 Hawaii Administrative Rules, and denied reissuance of commercial use permits as provided by Section 13-231-61 Hawaii Administrative Rules. Section 3B also states that unless otherwise expressly provided, the remedies or penalties provided by this chapter are cumulative to each other and to the remedies or penalties available under all other laws of the state. Last, Section 4 is a severability clause, which is a standard inclusion when new administrative rules are proposed.
Okay, we have now reached the testimony portion of this public hearing. You'll be called upon by a member of the DAR staff when it is your turn to testify. We ask that all individuals attending virtually keep their microphones muted when not speaking. As I mentioned earlier, we will take testimony in the following order. First, we will take in-person testimony from people who have been signed up to testify, beginning in Lanai, then Molokai, then Maui. Once all in-person testimony is gathered, we'll take Zoom testimony. As a reminder, please keep your testimony to 3 minutes in order to ensure that everyone who is signed up has had a chance to give testimony. If there is extra time at the end of everyone on the list and you would like more time to testify, we will allow those who already spoke to give additional testimony. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen so that everyone providing testimony can be clearly seen. Okay. So we will begin with any in-person testimony on Lanai, and I'm going to hand it over to Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
There's no one here to provide testimony tonight, Dave.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll take any in-person testimony on Molokai. Christy?
Aloha, my name is Nancy Poland. I
Oh.
own Molokai Ocean Tours.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
So
Please
I
proceed.
own Molokai Ocean Tours, which is a tour boat that goes out, and we do fill out all these forms you're saying right now. My one testimony would be that we allow the money that you collect on Molokai stays on Molokai for DAR here on Molokai. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Christy, any other testifiers on Molokai?
No other testifiers here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And next, we'll take any in-person testimony on Maui. Russell?
Yeah, we have one person, Jim Walsh. Let me just slide it over here.
Go ahead.
All right, hello. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts about the proposed ocean stewardship user fee. As Russell said, my name is Jim Walsh. I'm the general manager for Atlantis Submarines in Maui. I have been in the hospitality business for the past 37 years, 32 of those years here on Maui. Atlantis Adventures as a whole really is opposed to the whole ocean stewardship user fee as written. The following are some of the points on my reasons. Number one, the economy. We're battling through the worst inflationary period of the past 50 years. The economy is teetering on the edge of recession. Hotel room nights are the highest they've ever been, $700 to $900 a night over here. Vacations on Maui have become so incredibly expensive. No wonder Maui has seen a drop in visitor arrivals for the third month in a row. My operation here in Maui for the submarine business is the worst July that I've seen since we began operations in 1991. The government should be about helping businesses be successful. When we're successful, then you all are successful. And I don't know how this is all helping us here. The powers that be might think that a $1 per person fee isn't much, but those of us who will have to pay for this come last in a discretionary spending list. Airlines, hotels, car rentals, restaurants, they all come first before a single person decides to spend a dime on optional tours like what we do. The second thing, the special fund, the proposed rule says that the DAR special fund would be set up. This is where all of our monies would go. I'm sorry, but it's hard to see the benefit of the special fund. The state has yet to prove to me that any special fund bucket works properly. If the DOBOR special fund is any example, Lord help us, you could just head over to Line Harbor and take a look and see what state of disrepair the harbor is in. You know, Lahaina Harbor is frankly an embarrassment. The third part is, I would argue that we're being double charged with this fee. I would argue that we were already paying the ocean user fee through the DOBOR fees that charge us 3% of my gross revenue. That really wasn't enough. So starting this year, in 2023, Dober now charges us 3% of gross revenue or $1.50 per passenger, whichever is greater. In addition to the $1 fee, that fee is not really going to be realized from you folks. There are administration costs that come out of that $1 as well. I read on the KHON2 news this morning that DLNR wants to add another 400 new staff to DoCare and associated positions that go along with that to a tune of $400 million. What I see coming is more taxes and more taxes coming my way. The last part is the charity work that we do as a community. We do a program called a Living Classroom Program, where myself or one of my staff go into the schools and we speak to the kids about the ocean and our submarine operation, and they come out with us on a field trip. We do free kid programs periodically, Make-A-Wish children, teach a kid how to fish. We did that through DAR here, where they would come out with us on a submarine dive. We also do a lot of B2B programs to get local workers out on our tours as well. All these different programs are designed to better educate the kids and local community about good stewardship. We feel strongly that if we better educate our kids, the better stewards of the ocean, to be better stewards of the ocean, we will have a better future. So I think all of these things cumulatively are really important, and that the $1 fee that you're charging per person, if you're going to allocate that, then it should be towards, we need to think about maybe doing it towards paid passengers and not all of the free things that we do for the community. So
Okay, thank
thanks
you,
for the
Jim.
time. Thanks for the time. I've done my 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on to the Zoom testimony, Russell, anyone else on Maui there to testify?
No, that's it.
Okay. Okay. How about on back to Adam or Christy on Lanai or Molokai?
Nope, not here.
Okay. Thanks. Next, we'll take Zoom testimony. And I am going to ask Anita or Diana to call testifiers in the order that they've signed up to testify.
All right, so first we have Sail Maui.
Sail Maui, can you please unmute and begin your testimony? Okay, I don't see them. We can come back to Sail Maui. You can proceed.
All right, next we have Eric Bergmeyer.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Deborah Merrill.
I did not ask to be a testifier. I think possibly the same of the other names you have called.
Okay, thank you. Again, if you wish to provide testimony, that's what this Zoom hearing is for. For folks that are not interested in providing testimony, but just want to listen in and watch this hearing, we have a YouTube link available just for listening in. So we're assuming that if you're on this Zoom hearing, that you're interested in testifying. So just if we call your name and you're not interested in testifying, just indicate that and we'll move on. So thank you. Go ahead, Diana.
Next we have Tracy Bush.
Oh, can you keep going?
Sarah Severino. Can we go to Karen Ono? Aaron Gross?
I see a message from Aaron that I do not need to testify, so you can keep going.
Okay. We have Patricia Cadiz. Okay. Go to the next one, Lisa Castillo. I don't think I see her in the participants list. I will go to the next one, Jessica Parker. I don't see Jessica. Let's go to Dawn Prestige. Is Dawn here? Okay. I do not see a Dawn. Is Tammy Harp here?
I see a chat that Tammy Harp won't be testifying, and I have the list now, Diana, so I can take over. I
Okay.
apologize. Next, Manuel Kulolo Leo. Sorry, Kulolo Io.
Aloha, David. Do not wish to testify at the moment. Thank you, sir.
Okay, mahalo. Thank you. Next, Jamie Christner. Okay, next, Skippy Howe. Okay, next, Lena Ala Vetter.
Hi, thank you. Hi, my name is Lena Ala Kulaloyo Vetter, and I am a lineal descendant of Honua'ula, and I am speaking on my behalf. I still need to find a little bit more about this Ocean Steward Fund. Host has asked you to start your video. Okay. Okay. Can you see me now? Okay.
Yep.
I just need to need a little bit more information about the Ocean Steward Fund. But if it is going towards protecting the impacts from passengers of commercial uses, then I am for it. The reasons for that is I have seen the depletion of the environment and our natural resources, particularly in the Honua'ula district, Kula, Lahaina, and Ka'anapali areas, with the exposure to tourism and other people using Maui as a playground and feeling that these are areas that it's for their benefit. As a person who has been raised on the ocean and who has been taught by my parents, my grandparents, and great-grandparents, and we continue to today, my own family, the ocean is our resource. It is our icebox. And so if collecting $1 fee for the passengers, and like I had said, to prevent any more environmental impact, then I am for it. I just looking at the slides that was presented, I'm not sure how separate this would be from your own operational budget under DAR or DLNR, because it seems that there are some mitigation or maintenance that are continuing to today. And I'm not sure if this is a separate or addition to that, or if this will be somewhere that would be budgeted to hire other people. Let's see. And as far as the operators collecting the fees and writing down who or how many passengers that was on their tour, or for their operations, if that's going to be dealt with an honor system, or I think maybe there needs to be a little bit more clarification as far as monitoring and really seeing that these operators are writing down the exact amount, and they're not causing any kind of how would you say that they're writing, the amount of passengers that they are serving. And so that is about it. Thank you. And I do support collecting fees for the Ocean Steward Fund, especially for passengers and for commercial use. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Next is Francis Quitazol. Okay, next is Yuri Wassel. Next, Alan Abdil. Next, Tiare Lawrence. Next, Rosalie Luo. Next, Sybil Lopez. Next, Kaniloa Kamaunu.
Aloha.
Aloha, please proceed.
My video, the data is not good, so if you don't mind, I'm not going to put on my video.
Okay.
Aloha, Kaniloa Kamaunu. So, yeah, I kind of vague. There's not, I don't think the clarity is there as far as it's written. There are a lot of general statements. When it's I don't know if it's still in the works, but I feel that a lot of stuff is still kind of vague as far as the way it's written. It's like it's left for interpretation as far as, like was said earlier, the use of the fees, exactly where they're going to be distributed. It makes some points, but it's not very clear about the expenditures of the fees, and even like parts to service different areas, as far as the marine and stuff like that. That's kind of a general statement. There should be more clarity on exactly what will be done with the fees. Especially for the commercial, I think the one person from Maui made the point about the education. Are we gonna, charge our children, our students, when they go out on the, for this, and they're providing a free service? Are they gonna get charged too? That's kind of concerning because, even at the schools, they're charging for everything, and some kids can't participate because the parents can't simply afford all those, payment on, extra money to send them. So I think that needs to look, I think that's a good point, that, who needs to be charged. I think how, the use of it becomes a question of, we'd like to have more clarity on where the fees, because we don't know if it's going just for staffing, if it's hard, if you're gonna service the area, what kind of services can DAR provide, for places like that are being inundated heavily by tourists. So where those things, I think just need to get the clarity. And then as far as the visitors, it's kind of hard because everything's so expensive now, and I understand the fees. Not that I'm objected to the fees being imposed. I just think that there more clarity of one with who's going to get imposed, you know, again, the students, if they're coming from the schools, or, you know, if the business is giving free education and stuff like that. I think those are things got to look at. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo. Next is Stephen Williams. Next, Victor Lozano. Next, Stephen Ellingson.
Thanks, David. I have no testimony this evening. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo. Next is Marcus Yip. Next, Mike Coelho. Okay, next, Ryan Randazzo. Okay, next, Greg Shepard. Okay, next, Mario Noble. Okay, next, Stan Ruidis. Go ahead.
Hello. Hi, I'm Stan Ruidis, Lanai resident. I support this collection. Can be $1, can be $5, can be $10, but Hawaii residents should be exempt. That's the bottom line. You know, I travel to Honolulu, travel to Maui. I gotta pay that TAT tax when I stay at the hotel. I gotta pay that concession fee when I rent a car. I believe Hawaii shouldn't charge residents. You know, we depend on the tourists, so let them pay for all this stuff. That's my 2 cents. And you know, we got expeditions that come to Lanai, and that's our lifeline for the island. And I don't know if you guys understand that, but you know, we have a lot of kupunas that need to go to Maui to go to medical appointments and whatnot. And you know, the residents of Hawaii are already being taxed so much. So I would say exempt Hawaii residents. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo. Next is Alyssa Moser. And next, Sesame Shim. Okay, that's all that have signed up to testify. Are there any others on the Zoom that wish to testify that have not? Okay. Seeing none, we'll proceed. What about going back to the in-person sites? Anyone showed up that wishes to testify?
None here, David.
Okay, thanks.
There's none here, David.
Okay, thanks.
There's none here on Molokai. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Persons unable to attend today or wishing to present additional comments may mail written testimony to us by August 4th, 2023. Please mail testimonies to the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Aquatic Resources, 1151 Punch Bowl Street, room 330, Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. Written testimony may also be submitted by email to dlnr.aquatics@hawaii.gov. And the address and email address, again, are at the bottom of this slide. This is the projected timeline for these rules after this public hearing. The dates are estimates, assuming that no significant changes to the proposal need to be made based on the testimony received. Based on the testimonies presented tonight and the following public hearings, the department will submit its findings and recommendations to the Board of Land and Natural Resources. If approved by the board, the Department of the Attorney General will conduct a final legal review. If approved, the proposed rules will be given to the governor for his final approval. Should the governor grant approval, certified copies will be filed with the Lieutenant Governor's office, and after 10 days, it becomes effective as law. Are there any questions regarding this process? Okay, well, on behalf of the Board of Land and Natural Resources and the Division of Aquatic Resources, thank you for attending this public hearing. It is now 6:16 p.m. and this public hearing is now adjourned. Thank you for taking time from your day to participate in this public hearing. Aloha.